it's universal with women to where they want this man who creates a little bit more chaos, and then they change the way they change what they're looking for. And when we look at surveys in evolutionary psychology, we kind of see that to be the case. I'll tell you one thing that's interesting, even going even further. I don't know if you know this, but as a woman gets near her reproductive career at the end of it, she's more likely to file for divorce.
I didn't want a really nice guy when I was 24, right? And so I ended things. I went back on the scene. I mean, things worked out. I got married, I got a baby. But relatively speaking, if things didn't work out, and I said to myself, you know what? I do want a nice guy. I do want someone who's stable. I do want someone who's loving. Now that I'm older, I'm more reflective. I know you don't believe in older, but
Right.
I'm older, I'm more reflective, right? I could say I've now changed my mind and I want to reconsider this. Now, whether or not he wants to give me a second chance, I would say he'd be dumb for doing so. But for me to go back, because I was the one who left, he was a good person. What I wanted has now changed.
Well, what if he wanted change too?
And now he don't want me?
Yeah.
I mean,
It don't be happening.
Okay, so this is like literally this woman just like read the rational mail. It's crazy. That's exact. So, what do you guys think about what she's saying up there? Anybody?
It's true.
Go ahead.
It's
Extrapolate.
very true. To be in a committed relationship, for one, takes maturity.
But are you different at 24 than you are at 29? Is what she's talking about there? At 24,
Yes.
she wanted a little bit more of some chaos in her life.
She wanted the bad boy.
She wanted the bad boy. And then
Yes.
later on, she went back to the same guy that she left because she wanted a little bit more chaos. And then she said, but it's up to him if he wants to take me back. And she's like, I wouldn't take me back if I was him. Right? So have you something you've experienced?
Yes. You know, I was enjoying myself at a very young age.
Yeah.
You know, no commitment, no responsibility. And then later on, I had my fun, and I'm like, okay, I want to settle down. I want to have the responsibility of taking care of my man. I want to be mature and whatnot. She's lucky enough to get the person back that she wasn't ready for.
Yeah, for that's for sure. I will say this. This is one place where I really diverge from a lot of people, content creators in the red pill space, is that the only thing that grows faster than the OnlyFans economy is the simp economy. Like there is always going to be hundreds of thousands. If you're attractive, I don't care if you're 30, 35, 40, there'll be hundreds of thousands of men who will right swipe on you. And if you lower your standards just a little bit, you can get anyone. By the way, we're going to go over a study later on today about height and number of lifetime sexual partners based on height. But the funny thing is, this is really crazy. Did you know taller women have more lifetime sexual partners?
No.
Isn't that crazy?
Where'd that come from?
And shorter women have fewer It's really crazy. I thought that was interesting. Shorter men have more sex with their married partners and are less likely to leave the relationship.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting? You're from the same study.
It's opportunism, I'm sure.
It is really interesting, isn't it? Yep. All right. So what I just asked you, is this something you've experienced, like a change in what you found attractive throughout your 20s and 30s?
Not necessarily. I thought that my 20s were very much about like me understanding myself and not going into a relationship. I think that I knew that I didn't really know what I wanted yet. I wasn't looking for anyone. I wasn't trying to date anyone. And I think that that's really, really important. A lot of people miss that part of life. A lot of women, especially because of the way that we're taught to get married early and to have kids and to do the whole like family tree and everything else. And I've always been like the rebellious one against it. So in my experience, I didn't really know that I knew until I met him.
Okay,
So
so
about the
yeah,
individual.
Yeah, the individual changes.
My husband.
But you felt you felt something different from when you were in your early 20s to now, like what you find attractive.
Yes, mentally.
Okay, cool. Armani?
Yeah. Okay, so coming from someone who I was in a very long-term relationship starting when I was really young, I just got single about a year ago, and I'm in my early 20s. I feel like it's always been the same for me. I have a lot more learning to do, obviously. And right now, I feel like it's a time for me to go out and work on myself and not really date. You know, I don't want to share myself with somebody else until I'm complete. I didn't really know myself until, you know, I left that relationship. So now that I'm able to do so and I get to sit alone and I don't have somebody to run to, it feels good.
Right.
And it also depends on how you were raised. Like, some people long for things they didn't have in their childhood. People long for companionship. Personally, I've always been fulfilled with companionship. My family loves me, so I knew I was going to be okay by myself. And I think that women and men in their early 20s should focus on themselves before like jumping into something serious. Maybe, you know, when you get your stuff together, then choose to share your life with someone else who's obviously on the same level in you, or, you know, above, if that's your cup of tea. But that's just my opinion.
Did your parents or anybody like sort of direct you in that way, like saying you should just focus on yourself in your 20s?
Absolutely.
Is that the way you were raised?
Yeah.
Was like, don't settle real quick, don't jump anything.
And I feel like half of that is because they settled really quick and they had kids in their early 20s. So they like.
Did they have regrets? From doing that? You
regrets.
think?
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. Things don't work out. Everything's temporary. So I feel like.
See, that's why, like, from what you were saying just a minute ago, where it's like you're relating that, like, we sort of as a society or whatever, we want to like encourage women to like get married early and stuff like that. I don't think that's true, because like, when I see what her situation is, I think it's more even parents are now like directing their daughters and saying, you know, do it while you have the time, you know, maximize your opportunities when you're in like 18 to 28, somewhere around there. And I think that really sort of the narrative right now, social narrative right now, is like almost completely the opposite.
I have very like old school parents. It's
That
probably
might be it,
that.
yeah.
My parents are like old school Arabs, so I was kind of pushed into the whole getting married and having, you know, a family really young, and so I was the one that kind of.
Yeah, and then I also and people, you know, and I know people in the chat are going to give me shit for this, but it's like, you know, say, well, you know, that's the wrong thing. You should teach her. You shouldn't teach your daughter that. You should teach her to be like, you know, some nice little homemaker or whatever else. And I think that even if that was the case, even if you were doing that, you're still dealing with a worldwide, globalized now, not just localized, a globalized society that is encouraging exactly the same thing. So, anyways,
Brandy, pass it.
Yeah, I think, you know, I grew up kind of like, my family's super just like religious, and, you know, like I was always the crazy one. I feel like, you know, like from a young age, like I've always been like a party girl and stuff. And like when I kind of just like go to like when I'm dating a guy or something, like I'm just like, I don't know, I feel like just like living in the moment and stuff. And like, you know, from like 20, I'm in like my 20s, but like I feel like, you know, I'm 26 and like I want to have fun and everything, you know, like you never know. I just kind of just like live in the moment, you know? Yeah.
Okay, so but you're in your early 20s, so it's kind of harder because you guys are in your early 20s. You wouldn't have had the opportunity to like pivot. Is what you found attractive.
Yeah.
How about you, Jessica? Have you always found the same thing attractive? Did you want bad boys at one point and then change what you
still
felt?
wants bad boys now. What are you talking about?
So this is like the first time in my life where I've really been single. I definitely was a serial dater. So like I had like a high school boyfriend I was with for 2 years. Next relationship was also 2 years. Relationship after that was also 2 years.
Wow.
And I tend to find that I go for like whatever the opposite is of the last person I dated. So
Like overcompensate for the other way.
yeah, kind of like I figure out what I didn't like about the relationship and then I
Right.
shoot for exactly the opposite.
Yeah.
But like each relationship in itself is a learning experience. I think you can learn a lot about
So
yourself.
you have a
through,
short, ugly, broke guy now. Is that what you? I know what you're saying. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't get it. I apologize.
She's looking for a
Don't
Sorry,
talk about my
she's looking for
vibrator
it.
like that. But anyways, yeah, no, I tend to go for like complete opposite of whatever I had last. Like I feel like that's the smartest way to go about it. Like I feel like it would just be kind of dumb if you just put yourself in the same exact position every time.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the whole point is to grow.
All right, Alice, you had any transformation?
No, not really.
In Polish, please.
Ja mam kompletnie inne. Okay. I have different experience. I got married to my first boyfriend. When I was 19, I met him. I married him 3 years later, and now we are together for 6 years.
Okay, nice. All right, well, there you go. Gonna get some W Alice's here pretty soon. I have a feeling. Okay, this is interesting. But you guys can kind of see the dichotomy, right? On the one hand, it's like, from her standpoint, she's like, I wanted this thing and now I want this other thing. But it's like, it feels like it's universal with women to where they want this man who creates a little bit more chaos, and then they change the way they change what they're looking for. And when we look at surveys in evolutionary psychology, we kind of see that to be the case. I'll tell you one thing that's interesting, even going even further. I don't know if you know this, but as a woman gets near her reproductive career, at the end of it, she's more likely to file for divorce. Yeah, she's more likely. It's really interesting when you see stats like that.
So we talked about this with Jim Sexton, divorce attorney.
Yeah,
he was saying the first average age of first divorce is 42 for women. So I would say that's probably once women get past like the 39 to 40 mark, then that's probably when you start thinking about things. The other thing is like you brought this up, and I forget who else brought this up. I love it when women say like, I had my fun, and now I have had my journey of self-discovery, and I'm somebody completely different. And I'm like, what the fuck happened between like 30 and 31 that like you had this like epiphany of now I want to get right with God, and I want to do my whole new life in a different way. And whenever you're relating, you're like, I had my fun. Don't do that, because what that means is there's no fun for you anymore. No more fun for anybody else. I had it. We're gonna get really serious here,
ladies. I don't try to give a ton of advice, but I'm going to give some advice right now. Like what he said before. Don't say, "Hey, I'd like to settle down with you. I've had my fun." No. That's not good. And the other one that
I
guys
was so crazy.
The other guy, one that guys don't want to hear is, "Yeah, when I was single, I had threesomes, but I'm not going to do that because I'm with you now." Yeah. Don't say that to any guy. They don't want to hear that, okay?
Hey, so you stayed to the end. If you're watching this, I have a gift for you. Click the link below and I will show you how to position yourself as a high status man. Absolutely for free.